Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WFSO Aftermath. Of course, we're live on YouTube and we're live on my personal TikTok page. Um, as y'all probably see this background, like what I'm doing, just mostly, like something just told me like I should look up for like some interviews and stuff because one former wrestler that were now he's a rapper. But he could have been rapping way before I known him, so but who knows? So yeah, it was his birthday today, and only thing I got the picture in my mind was like, "Do you like thugs?" So that was the promo that he was said that he was in. So I found it, and I did send it to him. So I don't know what was his response to it just yet. So Brandon looking like, man, that was a long time ago. Okay. Of course, enter, actually, done some interviews and stuff, and I guess this is like some of the like pushings of King of the State. That's where he show he used to do. And I like the 3-part interview that Hazel did with Nick Phoenix. Uh, One she did with I forgot what they were. But good friends. Whoa, 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 whoa! Don't mean do that. Oh no, I was trying to look for that slap around the world, but I don't know. But then again, there are some ones that are missing. So then again, we used to have some of them through our MySpace page, but then again, some of the videos of that were missing. Um, okay, and put that back down. That's crazy. All these interviews that we done, and plus the some that we did earlier this year. Um, okay, I'm gonna play this for y'all before we not go on to let's see. May go into switching to.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, aka Jay Strager. Once again, I'm here with another beautiful lady from MCW. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce her to y'all. So, if you don't mind asking.
I'm Kat.
Alright, so this top hat, you know, at all who managing?
Tonight I'll be managing TC Washington in the promo match.
Alright, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, so, like before, I gotta go ahead and do my thing, get to know them a little more for myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all get to watching the match or whatever if y'all here, So we'll go ahead and take her, and we'll be seeing y'all later. You like thugs?
So the guy that says that is his birthday today. Oh my god, that was funny. Crunch, Anna Gambino, and Jump. Welcome to the live. Um, especially if y'all want to like have a shout out on here while we're live on YouTube and also on my personal TikTok page. Just say hi and I'll give you guys like a shout out. So like I just did. So for y'all that probably didn't hear it, y'all probably will see the video if you're watching through the recorded version of Aftermath. But I had to get that out the way, and yeah. So there's some crazy interviews that I really, gotta watch. I'm probably gonna do like a, segment, a series, just like to watch all interviews that the WFSO crew had done. Right now, there ain't that many of us, so yeah. Um, yeah, I actually gotta make something for that too. So that's just crazy. And yeah, there were sometimes I did interviews while I was at Chicago for Extreme Rules. Oh, okay, it was 2012. Okay, I thought it was like 2011. So yeah, makes sense. But I guess we can start with going for Wrestlepalooza results. So gonna talk about that. See if there's any there is some Bucks talk that we're gonna talk about today. While everybody overhyping certain things up, and it's like, where do you get this idea from? You know what I mean? I don't know. So we probably will see if there's a little bit of some other like wrestling news and stuff. And I did not finish AEW's All Out, so what I'm gonna do tomorrow, probably right after Raw. Oh yeah, because Raw is gonna be showing early now at 6 o'clock. So this is what's gonna happen. Probably around 9 o'clock Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. We will do like talk about the results of AEW's All Out and grade it, rate it, and do all that stuff like I'm doing with Wrestlepalooza. So yeah, I'm gonna do my like rating and grading it as well for Palooza. So let's get to it. Um, it just sucks that like 5 matches in like a little over a 3 hour PLE. And right now, in my opinion, this is not a strong start for ESPN. Showing WWE is not a good start. But some of us gonna watch it anyway because we already got ESPN subscription and stuff like that through watching through cable, so we're gonna end up watching it for free regardless. So doesn't matter. Um, so probably gonna end up watching that. Of course, the worst match ever was the kickoff match. Was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar did win, but it was just some things. Is like I don't know if it was like too slow pace, and it seems like John Cena had to pick up the pace for that match to work. But I was like both men did what they could do, but it was bad. It was not that great. All the matches that them two have against each other, it was like good, and yeah, it just didn't work out. It just didn't work. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah, it was a good theme entrance. John Cena had the kids out there and stand on the I don't know if you want to call it the Titantron, but like the front stage. Then before they run to the ring. So I thought that was that was pretty cool. And apparently, I'm not the only one that's saying, this, like, Cena should not have lost. Like I said, if you saw on, my Arthur Smith page, it's like, I don't care if who won or lost. It just gotta have me, enjoy the match. And it was, I know you want to show, like, a person like dominance, but, you making a guy that's like 6'3", about 250 pounds, pure muscle, a guy that losing to a guy that's like 6'4", 285, and like seriously, you gotta make I don't know. It's just me, like big guys, doing big moves, but it's mainly like Brock. He didn't go over the top when he faced John Cena, when that happened, like over 11 years ago. But it could have been better. It could have been better. Like Brock, like you were gone for like 2 years, and it's just like try. It's like that little kid, you poke something on the stick and saying do something. That's what you kind of expect for Brock for like being gone for so long, and just wanted to see like okay, like did he learn anything new? Is he gonna try anything new? But sadly, it was just the same old thing. So it sucked. So that's probably gonna be end up the worst match of the night. And I know some of y'all ain't gonna agree with me, but I did like it. That Paul Heyman came out, introduced him, then just suddenly, just disappeared. So I thought like Paul Heyman would still be out there, but Brock is like one of those guys that he's not gonna cheat to win this match, and he'll just do it by dominance. But yeah, it's not that great. Um. Then the next match was, the Usos versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. The Usos did lose. But I think the longer entrance they did for the Usos was just like, and they kind of went back to their old theme song, so that was cool. And, I guess it's like one of those things, like they put on a good match, but something they said happened. I think they said Jay like ended up having a concussion. That's what the wife had found out, that he, from other sources, that he had a concussion. They had to cut the match short. So yeah, as we all know, accidents in the ring and injuries happen in the ring. So it's not like, it's like oh no, he's hurt. Like, it's gonna happen. This match for the women's world title, although it vacated, but yeah, Julian, thank you. Go Packers. Although they lost, but it was a close one. But I just don't understand how the Packers let Cleveland Browns come back. Like, you 10-0 in the fourth quarter, then suddenly I think Cleveland got like 13 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. That's just something that's just unheard of. Scripted loss. Maybe, I don't ever. I do not know what you mean by that, Wicklow. Is it just like a speech or something you was making? Cool with that, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, you want to give it you want me to shout you out on here during this podcast? Just say hi or just chat on here and just have fun with it. And we'll just end up constantly chatting on here about Bucks, wrestling, comic book movies and TV news. Although we're not going to talk about any of comic book movies and TV news. Oh, matter of fact, we are going to talk about a little bit of that. That probably would be like the last segment of the show. Because there's one thing that few things I've heard of, and I've been offered to talk about comic book movies and TV news for like the past couple weeks. But there are some stuff that we're going to talk about. But let's get back to Wrestlepalooza. The match for the women's world title, like Stephanie Valkyrie and Io Sky, hands down, that's match of the night right there. That was match of the night. Probably one of the few things that that kind of save the PLE was this match. So yeah, although Stephanie Valkyrie for the first time is now a women's world champion, I should say. And then you're gonna have like some people is like, oh, she didn't do nothing. She only been here for less than a year. Why is she getting blah 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 blah? If you look into it, the woman is very popular. Not just international, but ever since her arrival and what she done, NXT to now being in the main roster, she actually done quite good for herself. So maybe, I don't think this wasn't planned because nobody expected, Naomi to get pregnant and have to drop the title. That wasn't the plan. So it's just one of those things that just happens. So nothing that we can control, and we can't get upset with it because we have no control over it. It's like what we do. But like I said, match in the night. So yeah. So congratulations to Stephanie Vancouver. That's cool. Like I said, match of the night. So that's what I'm calling, the women's title match right there. Match of the night. A match that I think may went a little bit too long, but it was still a good match. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I like what both sides were representing and gear wise. But I thought it was cool, represent, the LGBTQ. It probably was more layers than that, but y'all probably get what I'm saying. That's what AJ Lee and CM Punk was representing. Then you got Seth and Becky kind of represent, Suicide Awareness Month. Kenny Leon, hey, welcome to the live. I appreciate you watching. So cool. But yeah, I know they want to give AJ Lee her shine and stuff like that, but the match, in my opinion, went a little bit too long. But then again, we kind of understand after we heard about the Jey Uso concussion and the other match had to fall short. But yeah, my opinion, it was a little bit too long, and I am glad that CM Punk and AJ Lee did win the match. So her return match, why not? You got to have her win. So, yeah. I think I only got I got 2 matches wrong, so this is unusual for me. Then you got the main event. So yeah, total of the 5 matches, only got 2 of them wrong. Undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, of course, defeated Drew McIntyre. It was a good match as well, but I guess the thing is it ended too quick. So, Rick Nolan, this is not the right time to talk about that. Anyways, excuse me. But yeah, it was a good match. But I think this match just could have been, a little bit longer. So, that's my opinion on that. Glad, Cody Rhodes, retained. Although, he's back and forth, with, if you deaf, then why are you... Everybody got their reasons, they want to watch this show, so I'm just going to stop and just keep going. So, yeah. Like I said, it's a good win. And plus, he's back and forth, doing some, wrestling appearance, then also, filming Street Fighter. And of course, he's playing Gao in Street Fighter, so that's gotta be interesting to see what he does. Okay, Steve Turkelski, sorry if I said it wrong. Welcome to the live. I appreciate it. But yeah, okay, I already said my match of the night, and of course my worst match of the night out of this card. 5 matches in a little bit over 3 hours. No. But, before I do rate it, Undertaker did came out for appearance and mentioned that Stephanie McMahon will be in the first ballot of the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. Some people don't think she's deserved it, but if you see all the contribution in her story that they talked about her for a long time now, a little bit, before, the Attitude Era, and when both her and Shane was, working in, I think they was working on, not the library, but something like they had to deal with, papers and stuff like that. So they build themselves up. So, and then, some of the stuff you just see today, although you kind of wish, Shane McMahon would have, owned, WWE after Vince McMahon, but Vince McMahon, money hungry and just decided, sell it. And right now with TKO, in my opinion, we're in the worst position. So, yeah. So, I know it's going to turn some people away, and the Milwaukee show kind of proves that it turns some people away. For like the past few years, we was always sold out, but it's getting hard times, and people can't, afford it. If it's true, then happy birthday, Wick. Um, but yeah, people, they don't know how to know, especially if you want to try and make it like WWE trying to make it, a family thing for like watch wrestling, but they're not helping themselves with the prices they charging, because I don't think anybody gonna pay like $80 for each person just to sit at the upper level. That's not worth it, and not cool. Like I said, I was getting used to the other prices a little bit, which was fine. Then suddenly this year, okay. And the first time they didn't mention because normally at the Pfizer Forum they'll mention tickets start out as $20 or something like that. They didn't say nothing. They just put it out there and just tickets on sale now. Like, wow. Please tell me you're not. This should answer your question, Wick. And I did kind of mention her like earlier, so although you probably didn't came in when I talked about that, but moving on. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, Jonathan. I don't blame you, but I think Jordan Love just needs to get just work some little bit of the kinks in, and also maybe like better more protected of the offense. So no complaining to the defense. The defense is fine, but then that's the reverse of a problem we had last year. Like the offense was there, but the defense was not at certain points. So now it's just reverse. No, I didn't get trapped. I'm actually happy with my marriage, so I'm not trapped. Um, but anyways, let's rate this and grade Wrestlepalooza. So like I said, they did mention Stephanie McMahon is gonna be in the 2026 Hall of Fame. And I still don't understand why the Brewers are celebrating with the division title and they lost the game against the Cardinals. I don't know. People do things different, so what more can I say? No. I agree with you, Jonathan. Yeah, he does need, protection more. So probably gotta get some, stronger people for the front line. So yeah, that's gotta be something they probably gotta work with. Especially you got like few people, they got like three people at one point guarding Myles Garrett, and suddenly out of nowhere, somebody else ended up getting the sack. So I would like him to begin, try 1-on-1, then like 2-on-1, and I think don't have like 3-on-1 or something like that, because yeah, that would not work. But yeah, I didn't know, like I only saw like the first half of the game, and second half, I was just listening through, what people were saying, well, through ESPN, and yeah, oh, they got the field goal block. That explains it. Okay, they could have had that game, but they just messed it up. Okay, so now I see. But still, 13 unanswered in the fourth quarter. It's just just crazy. Sports is becoming money product rather than player recognition. Um, yeah, I agree with that. Um, like some businesses and stuff, it's like more like power, like how do you call that? Power hungry when it comes to money. That's basically what it is. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you, Jonathan. Yeah, tweak that offensive line. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. Wick, no, I'm not a wrestler. But I just know a lot of independent wrestlers around where I'm at, and got some good relationships on some of them, and and some working relationships. So it's all good. And plus, the crazy thing is, there are some people that I did, give them their, start on the independent scene, and so did the wife. So yeah, I'm still, still doing that, stuff, and plus there's like more wrestling schools here than it was before. So I think you got like at least like I think like three or four, but at least you got one big one that's House of Headlocks. So they're in Butler, Wisconsin, and good trainers and cool people that I know, and all good people. So yeah, and there's some of the people they got in training right now, and right now some of them are doing very good. So just can't complain. Why is Wilson getting booed when he replaced Dart? Beats me. I don't know why they booing him. That's a first for me, so I don't know why they booing him. I really don't. But let's see, rating it and grading it. So do with the best match and the worst match and stuff like that. And plus, still complaining about the quantity of the matches is still not good. Cause I know Triple H said like a while back it's all about quality not quantity, but at the same time you can still do both. So I don't get that nonsense anyway. That's probably the only thing I don't like when it comes Triple H going with like creative, well head of creative and stuff like that. And I know like the other business stuff and it has nothing to do with him, especially with the high rights and the prices. So just to let y'all know, Triple H had nothing to do with the prices or anything like that. He only has like the control, creative, like develop some talent and putting out the amount of matches. So if you like sick, you see like a hour and a half, like a 2.5 hour show, and you only had like 6 matches, or like a 2 hour SmackDown and you only have like 4 or 5. That's the guy you got to go to, because he's in charge of that. But overall, and I think, did I grade Clash in Paris kind of low? I might have. Oh no, I didn't, because I didn't see Clash in Paris. Um, I'm not sure. It was a show or a match that I rated it. That really not that good. So this summer, not SummerSlam, but Wrestlepalooza is kind of one of them that is not going to have a good rating or a good grade. So, like I said, quality of matches. Like one of the matches went too long, but we understand why. But still, and it's just sad. The women's world championship match, carried the whole show. And like I said, the last two matches were pretty good too, but one went too long and the other one like went too quick. So overall, I'm gonna grade it first. I'm gonna give it a C minus. So it was very close to a D plus, but with few of the matches, kind of saved, the PLE. So I'm grading it a C minus and rating it from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. This is really gonna be bad. So I had to give it a 5 out of 10. I know it's half there, half not there. So yeah, 5 out of 10 and graded C minus. So yeah, really, not their best and it's not their worst either. But if I had to put it up there, like in the top 10, one of the worst PLEs or pay per views, this would be one of them. Yep, this would be one of them. I guess we can now see any WRE. I'm not gonna try to look any. No, I don't want to know the winners and losers. All out. So. Oh yeah, you even got Vince McMahon. Not like in the WWE and ESPN deal. Like I said, only a few things Vince McMahon done right is like price wise made it reasonable for families to go see it and at times, not all the time, but just sometimes it's he does it for the fans. But let's see. Well, really not much. Like I said, I don't want to. Oh yeah, Ron Strowman was talking about this. That USA Network announced few focused travel shows starring Braun Strowman. So we did hear about this from him over the summer, but maybe they finally got a date when that's gonna come out. So let's see. Yeah, they're missing out. Oh, okay. So not that long from now. So it's called Everything on the Menu with Braun Strowman. So it will premiere right after SmackDown. So Friday, October 24th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. So let's see. Additional sets he tours like 8 cities, including Fort Worth, Texas, Washington D.C., Orlando, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada, of course, Chicago. Ooh, Milwaukee is on here. Nice. I will mention to watch that episode. From those who don't know, yeah, I mean, we're based off of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So just to let y'all know. So that's good news. Okay, and of course Chicago, Milwaukee, New Orleans, Louisiana. As I'm heard, and everybody loves their good food and stuff like that. So I wouldn't know because I haven't ate there yet. And of course Tampa, Florida. So it must gonna be a, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's probably gonna be like an 8-episode thing. So oh wow, okay. So it will be produced by WWE Studios and North Studios. Of course, Triple H and his regular production staff will be leading the WWE side of production of it. So maybe this will be a thing. They probably would bring Braun Strowman back. So the only reason TKO let him go is because he was getting overpaid, which I really don't get that much. John, no, don't spoil it for me because I didn't finish All Out just yet. Like the last match I watched was the tag, like the 6-man tag with her Syndicate and Gates of Agony and Ricochet. I think my thing, but I will talk about that match at least with the her Syndicate and Gates of Agony and Ricochet. of course, we all know, if it was, the weakest link, it would have been, like any match before, the 6-man tag, we can talk about if you want. So if you want to announce, any matches you want to talk about before that, we can. Because I didn't fully like finish watching it just yet because I had to, do this video. So I know, honest mistake. So it's cool. Um, but sometimes you spoil it, and sometimes you really just want to see like how it happened. So you didn't do much damage, so you're good. Um, but yeah, this is just crazy. So maybe this will be a way, bring Braun Strowman back to WWE. But like I said, recently TKO, released them because they was paying them too much. Won't you treat that man like he's a big giant? That's what I want. That's what I want to see. Like in the beginning, especially like with Vince McMahon, he was treated like he was a beast, a giant. And I know, like at times Vince McMahon, kind of loosened him up a little bit and stuff like that. But and, his second stint I thought was going pretty good, but I was just hoping, maybe at one point, he'll win, the WWE title. So I guess we're stuck with him, just winning the Universal title. But tag team champion and also, Intercontinental champion, so can't complain much. But I don't know. They just needed to do more with him on his second run. So just crazy. So I gotta remember late next month they will debut. But then again, you're probably gonna see some like promotions of it out there, probably within the next couple of weeks. Could be, any day actually. Just put it that way. Oh Jesus, don't want to work for me. So we'll just do it that way. Okay. Just glad you don't see that much of the results of them. So, like I said, we're gonna do another video tomorrow. Talk about the just solely for like AEW All Out, and do like a full results on, the matches and stuff like that, and grading it and rating it as well. So I will be doing that. So all that will be tomorrow. It probably will be, like I said, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. So kind of a little bit like over half an hour before, and half an hour after Raw ends. So it's just still like insane that Raw is like doing 2.5 hours, while SmackDown, one point it was 3 hours, now it's just 2. Just don't make any sense. It really doesn't. Okay, don't want to know about that. Oh, like I said, nope, Wrestlepalooza. Nope. That's crazy. I'm kind of spoiling it for myself already. So, the Andy Kiston match. Of course, like when against Big Bill. I'm glad Big Bill is all starting to be that dominant big man, but the end of that Kingston and Big Bill match was horrible. Like his finishing move didn't connect and stuff like that, and I know Big Bill had to play it off like he hit him, and I don't know, it's just crazy. Oh yeah, the tailgate brawl. I forgot to watch that. And that was on TNT and HBO Max. So like I said, all the matches I didn't see just yet. So like I said, that's why we're gonna do another video tomorrow, another live, just to talk about it. Let's see. Yeah, and it just sucks that that Wrestlepalooza could have had more than just like 5 matches. They could have had 6. They could have had 7, or at least added a during your PLEs like the pre-show, 1 or 2 matches. They could have done that. Helena Bruno, welcome to the live. I appreciate it, and after you guys that's watching currently on YouTube, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but right now it's not looking that good. But at least we can try to get up to 600 subscribers by the end of the year. Not end of the year, but end of the month. So hopefully we can at least do that. So please subscribe, and plus we'll start doing giveaways and stuff like that. So, and I know y'all guys like some free stuff. So please subscribe. Maria, hey, welcome to the live, and appreciate you checking us out. Of course, they thinking that a big TNA invasion will come into NXT. So, with the partnership with TNA and WWE, like NXT and TNA and all that stuff, like. It was just like, I probably just read it on here and skipped it. They were saying that the WWE invasion was kind of like the worst invasion thing out of everything because they didn't really have the main big stars. But as they explained it, and I think they explained it on like Who Killed WCW, that half of them were already getting paid and was still under contract after WCW was done. So half of them, they get the sit at home and get paid still. Don't have to do anything. And yeah, although some of them did get hired over time, but at the same time, you want like the invasion, you want like some of the big stars there. But I'm glad, they kept who they had, and they can also, they can do, make them guys, some big names like Booker T, of course, he was a big name in WCW, but I think like over the years in WWE, he made himself into a big name. So Diamond Dallas Page, and I guess I can see why he didn't stay with WWE so like long because age and stuff. So I didn't know he was that old and how the age he started with the business. So. Just imagine Diamond Dallas Page, starting the business, just like, how Batista did, like, 30 years old. And it happens. Pretty mucho, welcome to the live. I appreciate it. So, yeah, just imagine, like, you start in your 30s and you have to work, like, the bottom. I'm not saying, like, NXT is, like, the bottom. But then again, you got Evolve. That would probably be the first thing. Then you get yourself pushed to NXT. Then sooner or later you get pushed up to one of the main roster, either be like Raw or SmackDown. So just imagine that. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So Friday, September 26th, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. they are doing pocket pancake breakfast at the American Family Field. Wow, and he got his own syrup. So. The head manager of the Brewers got his own syrup. I think that's... Oh! Robin Yount, of course, Pat Murphy, and Down Driver will be there at the event, so... That'd be something. Back to the invasion. So, I did not have a problem with the invasion or anything at all, like some people do. Like... They did what they could, and plus they still managed to have some bigger stars, especially with the alliance with like WCW and ECW combined. So you easily just saw like ECW stars already like on there. Like then you just had to establish some of the WWE, not WWE, but WCW stars. So it's like some of them, they was in WWE, they switched back to be part of the invasion angle with the alliance. Then you got a few of them like Big Show and Chris Jericho. They were just like, no, we're staying with WWE. We're not going back to WCW because personally, I think it's like they had bad experience with WCW. Well, especially with some of the luchadors, well, and some of the smaller guys, they're just like, what are we gonna do? Um, in photos, FL, welcome to the live. Leonard Moore, Jay, appreciate it. Welcome to the live. You guys, please give a like on here on the TikTok page. Let more people know that we're doing live shows and stuff like that. So yeah, put that out there. This is gonna be crazy because I think we're gonna go on longer than we have for the last couple of weeks. Because last couple of weeks we were like less than an hour doing this. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think I explained it last week about the Andrade situation. So now you got people thinking that he's gonna go back to AEW. For what? To not get used again? At least with WWE, it was a different situation. Why they released him? It was because I guess there's a few incidents, and plus he did not show up at the this past Worlds Collide, which he was supposed to be there, but didn't show up. So I guess some of the things they had enough, and it was actually Andrade's own doing. Because last time they used him, it was like a tag match with him and Ray Phoenix at SummerSlam for the tag titles, which I think they should have won, but with the angle they was going with already, with with the Wyatt Six and Street Profits and stuff like that, I can understand, but could still like build them up a little bit and give them a little bit of time. Then something, what, maybe Crown Jewel, or maybe the Saturday Night Main Event, either November one or December one, had to win it. But that's just me. But some people they'll think differently. Yeah, I think we're just gonna stop from talking about wrestling because really ain't much to talk about, and plus I have to save everything for tomorrow's show. So because that's gonna be exclusively talk about AEW, and plus wherever wrestling news that's going on, and probably comic book movies and TV news. But that's probably all we're gonna talk about tomorrow's show. So enough of that. Let's go to a little bit of Bucks news. So before we talk about some Bucks news. So if y'all familiar with Laurie Markkinen, NBA player, I think at first he had to start in Chicago, then got traded to Cleveland, then went to Utah. And which he had, most of his career in Utah was like there. So now there's these rumors out there. It's like, there's a possibility that Utah may trade him and try to go with the youth movement. Kind of same thing, they traded away Jordan Clarkson, like, to the Knicks. And I guess this is one of those things, like, I don't know, it's just kind of like, excuse me. Like, puzzling at the same time. It's like, because I think he's making $31 million this year, and although if the Bucks decide they want to add Andre Jackson Jr. and also add Kyle Kuzma, like the salaries will not match, but Bucks can take a little bit more of marking his contract than that. And plus, there's people when it comes, with the Bucks, they're gonna look for their first round pick. So they still got their, 2031 first round pick and their 2032 first round pick. So yeah, they end up trading their second round picks to Charlotte just to try to free up cap space. Which, if it was just one of the draft picks, then yeah, maybe the 2031, whatever. Which sooner or later, I think that Charlotte is probably going to end up trading those picks anyway. Depends on, how it's going. Okay, we can get out of there. Just trying to see if there's any like news and stuff like that. So, Bucks poised for disappointing Amir Coffee outcome. Fans could see coming from miles away. Huh. What are they talking about? Oh yeah, and we will talk about that too. Gary Trent will probably have the number 2 role for the Bucks, which I kind of mentioned anyway that he was going to be that number 2. Is he going to be him or Miles Turner? But I think Gary Trent Jr. would be better as than second option than have Miles Turner be that third, or even Kevin Porter Jr. end up being that third option if they start him at point. Kyle Kuzma could be fourth if they starting him and can get him a little bit of a flow going. So let me see what in the world they talking about. So of course, 2 weeks before preseason, Milwaukee Bucks roster puzzle isn't getting any clearer. Counting Amir Coffey on a non-guaranteed deal, they have 17 players on the contract who could physically make the team. The number needs to be 15 by opening night. Well, 15, then plus, the 3, that's like on 2-way. So, yeah. So, I guess they're talking about like 2 players will have to go, and that would be most likely, Andre Jackson Jr. and Amir Coffey. Which, they recently signed Comrade on the as it is a Exhibit 18 contract, so most likely he's not going to make it to the main roster and probably will just go down to the G League. That's probably something they can do with Andre Jackson Jr. Just send him to the they'll cut him and pull him into the G League and see his development there. So there's a few things they can do. Helen Wong, I appreciate you being on here. Welcome to the live, and please give out the likes on here on the TikTok. And of course, you guys on YouTube do the same, and I'm appreciating the likes so far. But yeah, of course, Coffey, 6'7" wing, 6-year veteran, average career highs in 10 points a game and 41% from long range last season with the Clippers. But yeah, especially they actually guarantee Thanasis Antetokounmpo contract, so that was kind of shocking. I think he was getting nearly $3 million this year. Of course, you got Chris Lieberstein. They resigned, and I guess he impressed them in the summer league, which scored like over 20 points a game for that summer league. And don't forget, you still got Tyler Smith. Why are they saying he's 6'9", but he's actually supposed to be 6'10", 6'11"? So, yeah. I know there's a lot of things, they can do, if they want to, just say, cut Tyler Smith or whatever, they might do that. But then again, they need as many forwards as they can get. Let's see. But yeah, man, maybe, Bucks can, do a few trades from, now until, the season started. You never know. They made that big old Damian Lillard trade, close to the end of the month, around this time, few years ago. So yeah, strange things can happen, and I guess one of those things we're just gonna wait and see. And there was one more thing I'm gonna read about the Bucks before we move on. Let's see. Yeah, it was just Gary Trent Jr. primed to seize the Bucks' number 2 role. It's just like I said. I think he would have been good. He is good for that number 2 role, and I think he can fill it up. But then again, you saw at the beginning of last season he was struggling, but you'll end up coming out better and more useful. So I think because the beginning of the season, last season, that's why his contract didn't get like that big of a raise as it was, at the time. So so yeah, of course a while back, Chris Middleton was their second option, as some crazy people actually what? Oh yeah, Barrett was saying was like, yeah, Chris Middleton is the best player in the team. Like, raped. Yeah, best player to always get injured. Um, but like, I'm not totally like looking down on Chris Middleton, but he was just always hurt, like always getting injured and stuff like that. And at one point, who knows, in the 2022 playoffs, we probably would have went to another NBA Finals or probably win another championship. It's gonna be one of those things that, like, now we're gonna look at it as like, what if? So yeah, that's gonna be a thing that's stuck on back at everybody's, including like Bucks fans' mind. Like, what if? Sorry, just had to scratch my chest and stuff. So yeah, Miles Turner, of course, he will see more offense opportunities, which I believe he will. Especially, the passing of Giannis, and of course with Kevin Porter Jr. if he starts, another good passer. Although everybody underestimating him, which I'm not. So if the lines end up being Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., Kyle Kuzma, Giannis, and Miles Turner. Hey, not that bad of a lineup. I couldn't complain. Because I know everybody, stuck on, Kyle Kuzma is going to do worse than he did, the second half of last season. That's the thing. Imagine, be on a winning team and play good when you was with the Lakers, then suddenly you end up getting traded to the Wizards. And, they haven't been that good. Like, the last time I think they was in the playoffs is like the year they had Russell Westbrook there playing with Bradley Beal, and I think they ended up being the 8th seed. So yeah, just imagine that, being not that much of a winning team, especially a team that's rebuilding. Now I guess the Wizards was counting on Kyle Kuzma to be their future, but it didn't turn out that way. So what more can you do? So I think everybody's going to underestimate Kyle Kuzma this year, and who knows? Maybe he could be the third option. You never know. But I do see Gary Trent Jr. being that second option. So our third option could be anybody. Because you got Giannis, then you got your starting lineup. It could be anybody that could be that second or third option. You never know. We're just going to see like during the season, and we're just going to know from there. So right now it's just going to be wait and see. And of course they saying the forward spot is going to be up for grabs, the starting small forward spot, and I would say the point guard spot will be up for grabs too. Because don't forget, we got Cole Anthony and and Kevin Porter Jr. and of course Ryan Rollins, which all three of them can play the one or the two. So they're like a combo guard. So anything can happen. And I know the shooting guard spot is gonna be with Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green, and Gary Harris. Could be more that's coming off the bench and stuff like that. That happens. So well, who knows? So let's end the note talking about the Bucks and talk about Milwaukee Developments before we talk about a little bit of comic book movies, TV news, and get done from there. I was meant to do this video, last week, a few videos of it, but just never got the chance. Well, some of y'all probably already know, the in-laws were in town. I had to, hang with them, and pretty fun and busy at the same time, and plus with work as well. Yeah, it's just been hectic. So, where's that one story I've been looking for that I was supposed to do last week? This one. So this is the one. You want to see like more news and more information is, and then especially if you don't want to deal with Milwaukee Business Journal and like how much they pay for you, like for them to join the month, and especially the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Urban Milwaukee would be a good thing. So it's only like I think it's $8.99 a month, so it's worth it. And they got some stuff now with the see this, like if you see the lock on here, y'all probably won't be able to see it that's watching live, but for pre-recorded episode that guys you watching right now, they had that key lock. That means that's exclusively for like Urban Milwaukee members. So yeah, so it's saying the Third World Hotel wins the design review for the board approval. So it's gonna be another Marriott hotel. Okay. Yeah, I think they need something for the third ward. So that sounds, simple. So it will be developing a story building at 224 East Chicago. So okay, they explained that one because they was talking about trying to have a hotel at the third ward, which in a way they kind of do, but it's, I guess they looking for more. And plus, we do need more like hotels in the downtown area. I understand, they, trying to pull up, more housing and stuff like that. Just trying to reach the mayor's goal to try to get to 1 million people living here in Milwaukee, which we know we're a little bit over the halfway point of that. But I don't know, the numbers didn't get updated, so probably gotta wait till the end of the year to know like what's the population is and stuff like that. So that one we gonna have to wait on. So, the building is currently known for its first floor tenant Restoration Hardware, which will close its stores as part of the move. The upper floors had long been used for office space. So, maybe that's all they gotta do, just do the inside. Just from what they making it seem like. So doing the insides, it probably will only take them like 6 to 12 months to probably do. That's just my guess. So I could be wrong. But, like I said, more hotels like in the downtown area, the better. Especially you want to make like competition against like some of these other hotels that, starting to charge a little bit of an arm and a leg for stuff. Yeah. It's just insane. Let's see. Okay, they, had the design challenge and stuff like that, and plus, as I read, been approved. Guest rooms will be lined both sides of the halfway that circles in the building. Okay, okay. So that's mainly what the building is, so most likely they don't got to do anything outside, because the building looks like it's like, because the building, for what it looks like it's they upgraded it before they decided put the hotel there. So yeah, it looked like it did upgrade. So that's something. Okay, let's just mention some of the other things that's like downtown and of course in the third ward, but just gonna look at these renderings. So apparently this was in July of this year that they put it out. So of course the AC Marriott, okay, that in that building on Boston Gold, Chicago. Also it's a little bit okay. So this one within like a block before Water Street. So yeah, interesting. Okay, of course, the first floor layout they got, which I know, the bottom of it, they probably will have retail and stuff like that, maybe some hotel parts. So the upper floor plans, Okay, so I didn't see how many hotel rooms they're gonna have. So okay, view of the atrium from the southwest corner with additional skylights. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Oh no, it's right here. So I guess they got what you're looking at now. Then what it's gonna be like. So that's what it was for this picture and this picture. So understandable, and I guess this is what. Well, they really ain't gonna do much to the exterior of it, so it's mainly just gonna be like the interior. So the exterior is probably ain't even gonna take that long for them to do. So, no, yeah, support it and welcome to it. Because like I said, need more hotels around here. We really do. Especially you want to attract more people like the come like visit and tourists here. The other problem is they still don't got a bus that goes from point A to American Family Field. We thought the new bus, which is now the Route 74, it goes through there, but it doesn't have a stop there. Like it just keep on going through the freeway up to turns on like on I think what is that like 42nd in Wisconsin, I believe. Yeah, that route is kind of, in a way, I said that route is kind of pointless, but every now and then it will help. If I want to like get to the bank so I can catch that bus from donation place all the way up to 35th in Wisconsin, then I can catch a Wisconsin bus all the way to my bank and do what I need to do there. So it benefits at some point, but I don't know. It's just yeah. Let's just see like they try. No, we ain't gonna talk about that. So another story that we can talk about. So this was talked about for like months now and longer than that. So of course the Marcus Corporation that's runs Marcus theaters and stuff like that here. So yeah, you go to a Marcus theaters in your area. It's just I know there's certain areas in the state that has it, like Marcus theaters. So yeah, based off of here. So anyway, let's see. Marcus Coast had changed gears on his planned renovation of Hilton Milwaukee, which they wanted to do a tear down some rooms and make like a little bit like a convention place. So because it's like connected to the Barrett Center, especially people staying there. They can go from there to the Hilton. Same thing with the Hyatt. It's now connected to the Hyatt again, and go from Hyatt to there, and all the crazy stuff. Now I think I show a picture at one point that they had. They usually had like a little convention that connected to the which is now known as the UW Panther Arena, where the Arrows, not just the Arrows, but not Marquette, but UWM Panthers and Milwaukee Wave, the soccer team, has played. So multi-time champions of the indoor soccer team. So that's saying something. Let's see. Milwaukee-based company announced in December they will expand the $40 million renovation, the 25-story historic Art Deco Tower, from mothball the 175-room, 24-year-old West Wing. So let's see what is the change. So I'm just going to scroll down. Okay, so I think my wife did explain this to me that what they're planning to do now, they're making another part of the Hilton like a hotel as well, but it's going to be not that many because there's hotels they got a lot of room service and stuff like that. So and Hilton is one of them, but they're having some parts of it that just like limit room service. So because people, just come in, just do what they need to do, relax, and yada yada yada. Um, so okay, they're planning for the West Wing. With the Mark Hotel, we achieved two objectives: supporting the city and ability for the Bear Center to attract larger conventions by maintaining current levels of the hotel room supply. Which is true, because the Hilton is like got the most hotel rooms in the city. And I know the Hyatt is third, but I forgot who was the second. I think it was the Fisner that's second. But yeah, let's see. Well, because we starting to get a lot of conventions as of late. Like they got the Nostalgia convention this weekend. Then last month they had Anime 414, which I didn't get the chance to go to this year, but I did went to the first annual one last year, which was pretty fun. Um, Anime Milwaukee, they have like every like winter and spring, and I never had the time, to check it out. So hopefully next year, I make it one of the things I'm gonna do next year, just to check it out. Um, like, but then again, they didn't have that many people I was interested in, like meeting and stuff. But like anime, I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, like overall like Dragon Ball, and I told myself like in the fall I'm gonna start watching some other like anime stuff just to see how I like it, because it seems like a lot of them is like popular, like One Punch, Cowboy Bebop. I heard about that for a long time, but just never got the chance to watch it because I thought it wouldn't interest me. I guess you can count Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon as another, but although how it was in Japan, then they made it like the voiceover and stuff in the state. But then again, with Nintendo is kind of with Pokemon is kind of different because it's made by Nintendo. So yeah, like pretty interesting. And I know I need to get back into watching old Pokemon, but let's see. Wait, the company has long opposed subsidized the competing hotel or competing hotels, and the potential that such a thing that might come to pass has grown as a convention center expansion was completed in the city. More, of course, interested increasing the appeal of development for the remainder of the parking lot. Oh yeah, that one space. Cause yeah, it was like at one point they did wanted that one space to the hotel. So I wonder that's what they actually gonna do with that other probably for y'all that's watching like the video now. I think this area they will think of with the parking lot over here, or they talking about maybe they talk about this one over here, but it was at this one point this parking lot right here they was thinking of they wanted to make like a hotel there, and of course railing for the hop as well, so they kind of got that set up, but the expansion of the hop can't be done at the moment because of Republican legislators. But anyways, let's see. By keeping them as hotel rooms, we preserve the ability to one day turn the property into a 1,000 room headquarters hotel. So hey, more hotel rooms. So I can understand that. So of course, Marcus owned the hotel since 1972. It was a Schrader Hotel at one point. As it was also the Mark Plaza Hotel. Then in 1995 added it to the Hilton family brand. So yeah, why not? It added a 12-story west wing in 2000. The lower level of the tower included a Paradise Land and Water Park, which I always wanted to check out, but like they say in 2013, they stopped the water park, and right now that space is like not even used. So maybe they can do some renovation on that one. So okay, the Fisner Hotel, of course they did a 20 million renovation, and I think they're still doing more as well. So, and of course, prior to that, the company overhauled as Intercontinental Hotel into St. Case, the Arts Hotel. So, yeah, hotels are really expensive. That really is. So for the Hilton Milwaukee guest room, we'll see upgrades to express in eg- elegance that matches the grandeur of the hotel. So each room will see new furnishing, lighting, carpet, drapers, and vibrant artwork to pop against the neutral wall tone. So they claimed what they did, what they was going to plan on. They started out already, but it got finished was last year. But I guess right now, I think they didn't totally tear the rooms down, but it's something. But yeah, it really is a big building. So let's just say they want to add something to the side right here. So they said Wix Wings, so that's probably all the way in the back. But if they want to do something at the bottom, with the when they did that water park, maybe they could do some stuff there if they want to, like add more rooms if they want to. So there you go. I don't know, but I think that's probably a good idea. Or change, that bottom thing to something else, make it being like more useful, because you like kind of like wasting money just having like nothing going on there. But that's why I say. But yeah, some of these things, gotta get into order, but at the same time, you got some legislators and stuff like that, stopping process and not filling, the city money, although the city makes the most money out of every city in Wisconsin, and still, get treated like trash. Just, just weird. And, money grabbing, like, there's, like, they giving the money grabbing on small towns that barely don't need it. Because, you know what? It's quiet there, according to them. So, the small towns is always quiet and, oh, ain't nothing going to happen over there. I don't know. But, yeah, that's okay. So seems like we're pretty much it of what we want to talk about. So before we go, for all you comic book fans, Avengers Doomsday, as a few days ago, has wrapped filming. So all the difficulties and stuff they was having, the beginning of filming, which was like somewhere around March of this year. So I guess they can finally put that to bed. And otherwise, they say they done wrap shooting. So, but then again, the crazy things, they probably will have, refills. So, yeah. Okay, dude, we don't need all that on here, and we were going to say hi to you, but we are going to eliminate you. So, I never, eliminated somebody from TikTok, so this is going to be different. So this is going to mute for just the entire live. So now I know how to kick people out or pause them. So you learn something new every day. So yeah. So yeah, like I said, Avengers Doomsday is wrap filming, and I know they're gonna take a little bit, maybe a 6-month break, then start doing Secret Wars. There's rumors out there, and plus there's a little bit of spoilers out there, who's in it and stuff like that. But then again, there could be more people on there, or maybe some people that probably will have a guest cameo on there. So there's that. That's still got to be out there. So it's like a wait and see. And of course, everybody, Halloween is around the corner, and you have excuse me, you have a Marvel Studios animated TV show on the horizons this coming Wednesday. So it's gonna be, I know there's gonna be 4 episodes of Marvel Zombies. We don't know if they're gonna show all 4 of them at the same time, kind of like what they did with Eyes of Wakanda, which in my opinion is okay, but not like too great. I think it's like some of the fight scenes of that was good, but it was just like overall, like the story was not good enough. It was too boring. But I guess the only thing that was interesting in that episode when they had like Iron Fist on there, although on that one she's a female. But I think that was the only, like, that episode probably was the only interesting episode out of the 4 for Eyes of Wakanda. Like, I get what they were trying to do, but yeah, no. I don't know. Currently, there's Peacemaker out there. I think, yeah, I just got done watching like the last 2 episodes that I missed, so I'll call up on that on Thursday. And yeah, so when the series of Peacemaker is over, we will do like a video review on it during one of the aftermath shows, and kind of the same thing with Marvel Zombies. So we'll do like a review on that as well. But otherwise, okay, y'all know the routine with and of course y'all probably already know that WB and I don't know if you will call it Discovery. Of course they combine, but then they're trying to split between the two. But of course Netflix is like another buyer that may be interested in buying stuff. So I guess there's some rumors out there, but I'll take that to a grain of salt. That if Netflix end up owning the WB and Discovery, is a very, very good chance that they will revive the Snyder vision of the DC, which is called the DCEU. Nothing against like the DCEU. Like every single one of those movies they done, I enjoy. But I guess like I don't understand why they want to go something new, because there are a few of the movies in there that didn't do so great. But then again, part of it was the pandemic, so you can't truly fault it on that. And I guess the last 3 movies they had were like flops before they decided to let James Gunn and Peter Safran take over for the DC part of it and call it the DCU. Well, right now the Creature Commandos and Superman was out, and now you got like Peacemaker. So right now DCU is like, right now they're hitting their mark. I just don't like the 2 movies a year and 2 TV shows a year. Like, I guess you want more content, especially want more people to say like want to enjoy it. But I guess there are some people that thinking they put more content out there is too much. And there are some people that's too lazy enough. Okay, we don't want to follow the TV show stories. We want to have like the TV shows like run on its own. I swear, there's some people out in this world that don't even know what they want, and they just say things just to say something. It's just like some people just like have the cojones just to say something. Like they have the guts to say something and thinking there's no consequences or whatever. But so I guess we did end up talking about all 4 of the topics, and like I said, tomorrow we will do like a exclusive aftermath episode. We'll just talk about like wrestling and All Out 2025. So I'll probably be able to finish that. If not, like tonight, I'm probably gonna watch like a few matches tonight, then end up watching the rest tomorrow. So it's like a wait and see. But anyway, guys, like I said, I appreciate y'all watching, and all you guys that's on there, appreciate the likes, all for both on TikTok and also on YouTube Live. After you guys is watching the pre-recorded episode, appreciate it. Like I said again, please like. That'll go for you guys on TikTok too. So, and for you YouTube guys, please subscribe. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Right now, it's not looking good, Microsoft announced a $4 billion more in Wisconsin. Oh, okay. So, okay, I get it. So, all this stuff they're gonna add more to like the Microsoft area, which was supposed to be Foxconn. Thanks a lot, Scott Walker and Trump. Y'all screwed that up pretty well. But anyways, enough of that. But yeah, I should take my own advice and like what I was telling everybody else. Like, you do like stuff like this. Stay out of politics, but people post so much on there, and you trying your best just to stay away from it. It just gets too much, and you just have to say something. So I'm gonna try to retrace my steps and stay away from politics, just for now. Um. Anyways, guys. Like I said, please, like today's video if you like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Like I said, try and get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But if we can't get to that point, which look like is not going to happen, but then again, stranger things happen. So who knows? Maybe out of nowhere we end up getting 1,000 subscribers. And like I said, when we get to that point, we will start doing giveaways. Also, a prize package or something like that for like certain things. So you guys interested in free stuff, please subscribe so you may be in to win some free stuff. Whoever know what it's gonna be, you never know. Anyway, of course, like I said this on the few of my videos as of late that there are over 3,000 videos and counting on this YouTube channel, and plus one of the longest reigning channels on there as well. So and plus we got a lot of content, like all four of the topics we talk about, content we have on there. I know it's mostly maybe bucks and wrestling and stuff, but we talk about Milwaukee Development and comic book movies and TV news as well. So although I'm a little bit slacking on that, but we will try to pick up on that whenever I think. Well, mainly I'll just go with the news that for like comic book movies and TV, go for what's important than just throwing out random things out there. So yeah, mainly that's what I'm doing, just going with what's important for the comic book movie and TV side of things. And same thing for Milwaukee Development. So the big story I want to talk about, I will post more on that. Check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com for like upcoming events. We do have like a sponsor page if you want to check it out, or if you want to sponsor as well, there's a QR code, and you can just send it this way. Also, talk about our sponsors. Great Scott Sports Cards. End up doing a infomercial. So that video is out there, so you get a chance, to check it out. Think it's kind of cool, and I know there's a few more videos that I got to do for like the sponsors too. So Great Scott Sports Cards.weebly.com, and they also got like a page that also sponsor us about the Midwest Wrestling Collectibles. If you're interested in like some wrestling merch, and also maybe some DVDs, VHS, or autograph signings of certain wrestling stars and stuff like that, and t-shirts, you're interested in some of that, go check them out on Facebook or check them out on their website as well. So it's Midwest Wrestling Collectibles. Oh yeah, action figures too, so it may be something y'all probably be interested in. You never know, check it out. We are also, a proud sponsor of Maddie's Memory. They do have an event this coming month. If you want to, show some support on that, want to donate for the cause, or even if you need, help with now trying to grieve, with a, child loss or infant loss, they'll be the ones, you can, they can help you with that, or they can send you to somebody that can help you in your area. So, anyways, like I said, maddysmemory.org. Check them out. We're also a proud sponsor of Slamming Championship Wrestling for their upcoming event in October. So, all that information is on. Who?
even post it by herself. Like, what she all up in the craft room for?
Oh God, I don't even want to know. I already know what she's gonna do, so not even gonna talk about it. Anyways, the full lineup of the show, and it's a big show, so I'm thinking it's gonna be one of their biggest events yet. So a few big names they have on there, and you guys probably be interested in that. Hey, I like that Packers, yeah. But yeah, already gave away a pair of tickets for that show, and the next giveaway for that one is just gonna give out one more pair of tickets. Would be sometime maybe within a couple of weeks. So we will do that. So stay tuned, and also on my Arthur Smith page, we will talk about more about that too, and probably with other questions. Also, I'm working also with another indie wrestling company as well, for like sponsorship as well. So hopefully by the end of the week, all that will be talked about and will be announced. So just wait and see. So I think the future will be bright for this this Fed, but they've been around for this Fed. Like I'm talking about, they've been around for like over 10 years, and went to a lot of their shows, and always a joy. And I guess I'll talk about more about that this coming weekend, but I'm just going to save it until it's okay to make it official. So yeah. Anyways, guys, as I say, I appreciate y'all watching, and without you guys there would be no us. And until the next video, man up, woman up, face up. And it is International Wife Appreciation Day, so you got time, please appreciate your wife and do whatever you can to make her happy. So either if they having a bad day today, be there for them, do what you can. And besides that, it's still like Suicide Prevention Month. I think I did mention this, but I like what the semi-main event match, the mixed tag match, they will represent LGBTQ. I know I'm missing a letter, but I just can't even think at the moment. And also with Suicide Prevention Month, they have that going on too. So check on your friends, because you never know, they may need you at the most, and we don't want like a lot of suicides going on. So check any like local place that that has something, talk about stuff like that. See like if there's anything you want to do to help the cause. And also check on your mental health as well. So it's kind of like the same thing, because people are getting strung out on their mental health. It gets to a point that they're just like no more. So we don't want it to get to that point, and go to therapy, which I gotta go to tomorrow. Talk to somebody, even if you're like in high school, like a teenager, high school. Talk with a counselor. Talk to a teacher, like somebody that can help you. So yeah, teachers can help wonders. Although you got some people that that's just out of bounds. Just put it that way. Anyway, guys, sorry for rambling about that, but mental health is like very important to me. So I'm always going to talk about it when I get the chance, and all that good stuff. Anyway, guys, like I said, thank you for watching. Until the next video, you guys have a good one, and see you tomorrow for the full review of AEW All Out, and talk about some wrestling stuff. It will be exclusively for a wrestling video for tomorrow. So guys, have a good one. Like I said, see you later, and enjoy the rest of the summer, because it's going to be fall in a few days. So yeah, see you then.